3-0 it finished for Manchester City as they closed the gap to Arsenal to 3 points. Arsenal playing their game tomorrow. We'll see how they respond. That's how the table's looking as it stands right now. Pep promised improvement pre-match after accepting that City rarely deliver complete performances. So let's get the view of the panel on what we saw from Manchester City tonight. Frank Leboeuf was watching it for us. What was your thoughts on what we saw, Frank?
Well, I was pleased for the game that the Manchester United offered to us for 90 minutes, because normally, even 3-0, you say, well, what's going to happen in the second half? Because normally they're not very that tuned in, and they let it go. They get a little bit sloppy. But overall, I have to say that they've done what they have to do. The job has been done very well and very professionally. I was a little bit afraid for Haaland I think it's on the second goal. Haaland got tackled and I thought he got injured, but it went well. So everything was working again perfectly. I like the young O'Reilly, I have to say. If I have to point somebody, what he brings to offensively, but also on the work that he does defensively, that guy is very useful in the middle of the park. So perfect evening for City. A very much off night for Fulham, I have to say.
Was it a complete performance from Man City like Pep promised?
I don't know. I guess you'd have to say it is, really, because we've been complaining about how they've lost their way in the second half in a lot of games. But at the end of the day, when you're 3-0 up, all you're caring about is keeping a clean sheet, really, from a coach's point of view. And they did that. They were never under any pressure. Could they have done better with some of the balls they had in the second half? Yes, they could. But the fact is, they scored 3 goals at home and they kept a clean sheet. So, if you call that a complete performance, then it was a complete performance.
Let's talk about seamless transitions and Antoine Semenyo into this side, Ale.
Yeah. When we sit here and we're trying to analyze new players going into new places, and the usual conversation takes you in the direction of, it's just going to take some time. Take some time to get used to his surrounding and his teammates. Yeah. When you know, you know. And when you're a good player, and you're a great player, and in this case, Semenyo has been that for Manchester City, it doesn't really matter. This guy has been noticeably, since this has been with Manchester City, their best player. Consistently their best player. Anytime he's on the field, you know something's about to happen when he gets a touch on the ball. And he can be working the right-hand side, he can work in the left-hand side, it doesn't really matter. And while we focus on Erling Haaland, and we should, and we focus on other players in Manchester City, Semenyo benefits from that attention on other players because he is matched up in 1v1 situations, he can utilize his speed, he's a good passer of the ball. The change of pace that he has for a guy his size is something that it stands out anytime that he faces up a defender. And the pass today, while it may seem like a simple pass, the pace of the pass is what makes the finish easier for Nico O'Reilly. I thought Semenyo, again today, as he has been with Manchester City, was excellent.
Yeah, you'd think he'd been there since the start of the season, Stevie.
Yeah, absolute quality, I think Manchester City have got 2 players who are kind of on the opposite side of the spectrum. You got Marmoush, who came 12 months ago, and it seems like he's still trying to get settled, still trying to be consistent, even when he does get a run of games, which hasn't been very often. And then you got Semenyo, who's just through the door, who looks as though he's been there, the 12 months at Marmoush.
Does that come down to playing in the Premier League already then?
I think that has something to do with it, yes. But I think it's the fact that when you buy a player for a certain position who just fits in, the way he wants to play the game, he just fits in right from the get-go. He's obviously got confidence, but yeah, unfortunately for City and unfortunately for Marmoush is never going to be that guy, I don't think.
Do you like what you've seen from Semenyo, Frank?
Oh, yes, indeed. He was the perfect guy for the perfect place, and that the guy that Manchester City needed. And nothing to complain about. His efficiency has been crucial for the Sky Blues, and we can see that he feels at home immediately. You know what? When you talk about Marmoush, you can talk about many players coming from Germany, and which is a different football, seems to be, and difficult to adjust for most of them. We saw that with Wirtz, but some others in the past years. Semenyo knows the job, knows how to feel, and he knows the rhythm of the Premier League. And you can see that he fitted it very well and very easily. So well done to him.
Frank mentioned Nico O'Reilly in the midfield. The more you watch him play in the midfield, the more it tells me, it may not say the same thing to Pep Guardiola, but it tells me, don't play this guy left back ever again. No. You watch him play in the midfield and how he impacts the game offensively, how much ground he covers. Because of those long legs, he's able to get box to box, literally box to box, and cover ground, in which is an area that Manchester City has struggled. Being able to cover box to box, being able to cover transitions, he's able to do that offensively and defensively. I have no idea why you would play this guy left back. Keep him in the midfield. He gives you athleticism, something that I think this team lacks in that position. And I think overall, you asked the question, was this a complete performance? I don't know if it's complete, but it was stress-free, which Manchester City hasn't had in who knows how long. The fact that they go into the second half knowing that it's going to be essentially a possession drill, and it's going to be a glorified training session, they haven't had that in matches at all this year, seemingly. It seems like they're always stressing to hang on or stressing to go catch up. In this case, no stress, no issues, no problem.
Yeah, so City moving to within 3 points of Arsenal in the table. Arsenal playing their game tomorrow. We've given you our predictions. Away to Brentford. Everybody but Frank Leboeuf going for an Arsenal win. Frank has gone for a 1-1 draw. Why would that be, Frank?
Well, because I respect Brentford a lot, you know, and lately they showed me that you have to consider them as a difficult task for the Gunners, and they play at home, and the Bees, they know what they have to do. They are 7 at the table. They're not like in the second side of the table. They're really a threat for Arsenal, and a real challenge, and you never know. So I would want to give a chance, and again, I want to race. I really want to race at the head of the table. So I want to see Arsenal dropping a little bit to see, you know, something interesting at the top.
Why is it going to be an Arsenal win?
Too strong. Too many match winners. You know, it seems a team like Brentford, who part of their strength is the strength that they have, the size, the physicality. But Arsenal's a team that can match anybody's physicality. And then going the other way in terms of attacking play, as much as Arsenal haven't been at their scintillating best for a while, they score goals. You know, we're sitting here talking about set pieces and free kicks and, you know, scrambling goals at the end or whatever it is. We don't sit here and talk about silky soccer, 4 and 5 passes, cutting teams apart, scoring goals, wonderful to watch. That's not what Arsenal is. Arsenal's a team that wins. It's a team that keeps a tight ship. So Arsenal wins by scoring 2 goals, and the tight ship means they don't let a goal in.
Whatever happens, we cannot have Frank get this result correct, because he would remind everybody, including our producer, and send messages to everybody. See, I got it right. I told you.
Yeah, well, that's the role with predictions, isn't it?